Hello and welcome to the gojenn podcast. This is episode 144 and today is February 4th, 2018. I am your hostess, gojenn. You can call me Jennifer, Jen, hey, whatever. I'll probably answer to it. So how are y'all doing today? I am so glad that you've decided to take a few minutes out of your busy day to spend a little time with me, see what's going on in my teeny little corner of the world. I know by the statistics, there's another word, but I can't, analytics, the YouTube analytics, that I have viewers all over the world. Unbelievable. Hello, if you're in Europe. I'm amazed. Hello. The analytics also said I have some male viewers. Really? How you doing? I'll try to throw in some car talk or something. No, not really, because I don't understand that. But at any rate, hello. Thank you for dropping by. I hope that you will enjoy the weekly podcast. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. The analytics also say that over half of you aren't subscribers who are watching. So I understand that you have to check it out and see if you like it before you decide to commit to subscribing. But I hope you'll give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like it. And that way you get a notice every time I upload content, which is normally every Sunday. I put up a podcast. However, for the month of February, I am vlogging every day and trying to put up a 5 to 6 or 7 minute little vlog of my day, just letting you know what's going on. So this being my regular podcast, you can find me as gojenn, Gojenn, on Ravelry and Instagram. If you're a fiber crafter, knitter, or crocheter, you should know about Ravelry. It's all free. There are tons of patterns, ideas. One of my favorite things is to see what other crafters have done maybe with the yarn I have, because I don't want to use my yarn wasted on something that turns out not looking great. And so I can look at what other people have made with that yarn and say, ooh, no, I don't like that, which is just my personal opinion. Because most of the time I go, oh my gosh, I wish they would make that for me. But anyway, this past week has been very momentous. I got my crayon. I need one of those TV, butter commercial crayons to pop on. No, I got a temporary crayon where I had a root canal before Christmas. I got a temporary crayon this week, and I go back in like 3 weeks to get my permanent crayon. So, everybody, you can just be informally. It's kind of fun to say I got my crayon. And, I was a spoiled, rotten kid, and so my parents always let me feel like I had a crayon until I was a teenager, and then, of course, I was hormonally challenged. But anyway, February started, and I started vlogging every day. So if you want to, you can just go back down in the history on my videos, and you'll see where I started the daily vlogs on the 1st. Had a bad day on the 1st, but it's looking up ever since then. I showed some happy mail that I got. And one of the things that I do here in my podcast is to update everybody on my craftiness. So drum roll, please. I should have the sound effect in the background. No, it wasn't very good, was it? Look, it's a sock. And like I could put it through the ring. It's not attached to anything because that's a toe. It's not a really pretty toe because I changed, just ignore that spot. I changed where the side was. Now I know it's just crazy. Crazy pants, crazy pants. My next thing is to come back here where that line of waste yarn is, pick that out, and that's where my afterthought heel will go. It's my word of advice. Don't use black. It's really hard to see at night when all you have are lamps to see your stitches. I find it nearly impossible, but I chose black. And I have gone back, and I told you in one of my other podcasts or vlogs that I had some holes, and so I've gone back in from the wrong side and kind of sewed up the holes, fixed them. I'm not going to worry about them. These socks are for my sister. It's not like she's going to stop being my sister because I give her ugly socks. Nope. So I've got to put the heel in, and then I have sock number 2. You know, this right here is sock number 2. Isn't that amazing? It's going to be a sock. I did it too. I made this pair. So I have to do the heel, and then I'll be ready for sock number 2. The other project in process is, I'm wearing a football jersey because today's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm going to insert in here a picture of me holding up the entire blanket. It is all joined together. There may still be ends to weave in, but it's all in one piece. Now I am ready to go around the edge with a border or borders. I haven't decided what. It's going to be a relatively simple border because that's a simple blanket. It's just squares. It is made out of different pieces of sock yarn, so it's a very heavy. I like to have roasted when I was seaming it together last night and during the day today. It is just very warm, so that's good, but wow, is it hot. And yes, today is Super Bowl Sunday. I'm wearing my Ravens jersey because I love the Baltimore Ravens. They're my team, and they're not in the Super Bowl. I did want to show you this tracker that I made in my bullet journal, and this was a visual way for me to see what had to be done on my owl projects, which are my projects that I do for the Harry Potter Knitting and Crochet House Cup. I figured out how many inches my socks needed to be, and then I was able to say, well, that's how many blocks of time, or you know, just how to break it down. Then my blanket, this is how many total blocks it is. And then I'll have 2 borders probably, one on each of the 4 sides, so that will give me something I can check off. And then I have a granny square blanket down here that I haven't really started on putting together. But doing that, I have never done that before for a big project like this. And I think it has helped me immensely, because instead of me going, oh wow, I'm never going to get through this, I'm able to break it down into smaller pieces and say, Okay, I'm this far, this is what else needs to be done in a visual way. You know, I had 80 individual blocks that had to be made, and then they had to be seamed together. And then, now that's all done, and all I have to do is the borders. Yay! In a way, yay. In another way, oh my goodness. I'll have to bring a fan in because it's really hot under that blanket. And the sock is a number of inches from the cuff to the heel, and then the heel to the where the toe begins, and then the toe. Now I've got to go back and put the heel in. And so that tells me, it breaks it down into visual units to be finished. So for my owl, I proposed to finish 4 projects: the sock yarn blanket, the pair of socks, the granny square blanket, and a virus shawl that I've already finished. So at the end of 2 months, I have to be able to show that I have completed at least 50% of the work on the project. And so I kind of got to state what I felt 50% was, and I said it was to finish the virus, to finish 1 sock completely, to start the next sock through the cuff, and to finish 1 or the other of the blankets. And I just picked up the granny square blanket first. So I'm very close to getting to my 50%. Finishing this first sock, and then casting on and doing the about an inch and a half of cuff on the second one, and then finishing this blanket. And that leaves me the rest of the time from now until March 31st to finish the other blanket and the other sock, and I'll be done. And I will have completed 4 big jobs that I will be really glad to finish. So there's that. Yay! Also in crafting, I would like to make a pair of crocheted mittens this month of February. I need a pair of mittens for everyday wearing, so I'd like to just crochet them because I could whip them up a million times faster than if I try to knit them. I am a long time crocheter, but I've only been knitting for the past couple years, and I'm very slow, and I don't like to purl. So at any rate, that's where I stand on my crafting. And I showed you my little graph that I made. Oh, reading. When I have all this time sitting here joining the blanket squares or just knitting around and around on the sock, I will either watch Netflix or I will listen to a book on Audible. I have been listening to Artemis by Andy Weir, W-E-I-R, and it is about the first moon settlement and the people who live there. And there are all kinds of people. It's like a city on the moon inside bubbles. And the twist is there's going to be a little bit of sneaky work being done by one of the characters, and that's very interesting. It is read by, I believe it's Rosario Dawson. Oh, I'm not sure if that's her last name. But she has all this sass and spunk and take no crap from anybody voice, which matches the character just perfectly. So it's very interesting to listen to. I'm enjoying it a lot. And then on the Kindle, I'm reading Gateway to Four-Line, which is by Pam Brandos, I think, or Brandos. Okay, a couple things that I did want to, I'm enjoying that, but I haven't had as much time to just read since I've been trying to get my crochet projects done. I wanted to show you things that you can do in your bullet journal for a minute, or in anything, your diary or anything. This is where I set up my bullet journal for the day or for the week in January. And using this purple pen, it bled through like crazy and really made this page here unusable. So I just took a piece of coloring page, colored it, and then stuck it on. And that was a really good way to use that. I don't decorate a whole lot usually, but here's how you can use some washi tape. I separated the days here, and just make it a border is something you can do. Let me see. When I was getting close to the end of the month of January, I realized I wanted to go ahead and set up February, so I left these two last pages for the end of January. And then I ran out of things to write, and then I had a blank page here. So I just took two little coloring pages, colored them, and then taped them on. And that adds visual interest to the book. Gives me some coloring to do, which I think is always fun. And it gives my book continuity. Here's something I've decided to do this month. My dream log, I'm started at the bottom. I'm going to work my way up, because sometimes I feel like y'all might be reading my dreams when I show my bullet journal dream logs, and I don't want y'all to get any ideas. No, I'm just kidding. But I did think, you know, hey, if somebody picks it up or happens to look over my shoulder while I'm writing, I don't really want them to see anything. You know, anything. There's nothing secret, but whatever. Today is the Super Bowl. It's the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New England Patriots. I am pulling for the Eagles today. You know, everybody has to pick somebody. I'm not a fan of either one of the teams particularly, but I like the Eagles better than the Patriots, I usually root for the underdog, just because if you've won already, step aside and give someone else a chance. I know that's not the way the world works, but hey. So if you are a regular for my podcast, you know that I always end off saying, I wish you nothing but love and laughter. And to give you a little start to your laughter, my friend Amber told me this wonderful joke. What did Cinderella say when her pictures weren't ready at the photo developer? She sang, "Someday my prince will come." Love and laughter to every one of you. See you tomorrow.